If you've been diagnosed with osteoarthritis and the only thing they've told you is to take these medications, you're in luck because there are a lot of techniques you can try, setting the drugs aside, that can help you relieve the pain. And in this video, I'm going to show you 5 of them. 2 massages for the muscles around the thumb, a traction exercise, a stretch, and finally, one of my favorites, strengthening the thumb abductors to protect the joint and prevent the pain from coming back. Here we have 2 anatomical models. One is just the skeleton and the other has both skeleton and muscle. Rhizarthrosis is the osteoarthritis that appears exactly between the first phalanx and the metacarpal, which is just below it. Osteoarthritis is nothing more than the aging of the joints, which in some people happens prematurely. Before we begin, I want to remind you that every week I send an email with all the recent videos I've published to more than 200,000 people. If you also want to be part of this list and not miss any of my updates, it's completely free. You can click on the top right corner of the screen around here and the card should appear, or on the first pinned link. You go to the link, leave your email, and you're signed up. Every week you'll receive my latest updates, so let's get started with the techniques. The first 2 massages. The first one focuses on the adductor muscle of the thumb. That's the one located exactly between the index finger and the thumb. In fact, if we draw a small line to outline it, we want to work all the muscles that are in this area. If we draw a straight line from the thumb down and from the index finger down, we can very easily recognize the muscles we want to work. Why do we do this? Because I want you to use your other hand to pinch the area and massage from the deepest part to the most superficial. You can use a little bit of cream, a little bit of oil so it slides better and the skin doesn't get irritated. But the technique is really simple. We're going to leave the hand. We want to work on relaxed, resting on a surface, and we're going to use that index finger and thumb. And we're going to look for the innermost edge of the adductor muscle of the thumb. You'll notice that at this level, there's bone. You'll notice that at this level, we also find bone, right? Where those bones meet is the deepest point. That's the one we want to press. We're going to apply a little bit of pressure as if we had a clamp in our left hand and we wanted to open it, we wanted to squeeze it. And from here, very simply, very slowly, we're going to move those 2 fingers outward, tracing the entire red line I have here that runs along the metacarpal of the thumb. We slide the fingers, slide all the way to the edge. That's it. If you have trouble sliding those fingers, add a little bit of cream, it'll go much better. We press those fingers down again. We apply considerable force and little by little we slide both fingers until we reach the final edge, where the fingers come together again. Let's go for a third one. I place my index finger there and my thumb. Look, it's as if it were right here. In fact, you can do it from here, a different direction, and I gradually apply that pressure, little by little outward. One more. Index finger, thumb. I slide, I slide, I slide, I slide, I slide, I slide, I slide. Outwards. Once we've done about 3 repetitions, 3 or 4 passes, we're going to work on the other pillar, which is the one that's closer to the index finger. From here, again, I place my fingers, same position, but now instead of doing it along this line, what I'm going to do is follow the line of the index finger to work on other fibers of the muscle. Again, if it's very uncomfortable for the skin, if it hasn't glided enough, if my fingers are getting red, we can use a little bit of cream. I apply pressure. I slide. That's it. All the way to the end. Let's see it more from the side here. Let's make sure you can see it. I apply pressure, and from here I move my fingers outward. Very good. If during that movement there's a point of pain, a more sensitive spot in the muscle where you say, ugh, it hurts more here, good news, we can work on it. We stay at that spot, apply a little bit of pressure for about 30 seconds, and then continue. In fact, I have one right here. Very good. This is going to help me work the muscles more deeply and release them better. Very good. It can feel a bit uncomfortable when you press it, but you'll notice how, little by little, as you maintain that pressure, those muscles start to relax gradually. In fact, I recommend that after doing several passes, 3 here, 3 here, you explore that muscle a bit, looking for those more sensitive spots so you can press on them. I have one right here, so I'm going to press it a bit more for about 30 seconds, and it's possible that when you press it you might feel referred pain, not just where you're pressing, but also in other parts of the hand or even at the base of the thumb. Once we've worked on those tension points and we worked on the adductor muscle of the thumb, exactly this one right here, we're going to turn the hand over and work on the thenar muscles, which are the muscles that connect the wrist, so to speak, with the base of the thumb. We place the palm of the hand facing up. We're going to outline the muscle we want to work on. It's very simple, very bulky. It starts from the carpal tunnel area and we draw a circle. Hasta aquí. Same on the other side. We draw a circle surrounding all the muscle mass that we find right at the base of the thumb. In fact, if we look here, this muscle that we have here has already been worked with our index finger and thumb just now, and now we're going to work this one here, which corresponds to the thenar muscles. What can we do? Place the hand palm up, relaxed, resting, without applying any force. We're going to start at the base right here where we have the carpal tunnel right here. You'll notice there's no muscle here. There's a lot of muscle here, but here there's no muscle at all. We start from there, and again, with a little bit of oil, we're going to go over that whole muscle group. I like to do at least 3 techniques, 3 passes that start from here and follow the points. 1, 2, 4, and 3. Those are the 3 paths we're going to use, the 3 ways we're going to follow with the thumb of the opposite hand to work the muscles. 1 lower, 1 in the middle, and 1 higher up. Obviously, this massage, these techniques, can be done for you by someone else. You can do them yourself if you have 2 hands, but if you don't have enough strength in your other hand, or you don't feel like it, you can teach someone else so they can do it for you too. We work on that muscle group, which is less pleasant than the adductors, less pleasant than this one here that we've already worked on, and also less bulky, and we do several passes. How long? How many passes? I like to do around 4 or 5 passes per dotted line so that all that muscle gets worked well, and as we gain confidence, even apply a little more pressure with our thumb so it works better. We can also use the index and middle fingers, one on top of the other, to work those 3 paths and give more intensity to the massage. Very good. After these 2 massage techniques, the muscles around our thumb are more relaxed, so we're going to go for a traction technique. As you remember, at the beginning I told you that the thumb-base osteoarthritis is the osteoarthritis that occurs between the first phalanx, these 2 bones we see here. What we're going to do now is a traction.
After all, osteoarthritis is caused by the absence of cartilage, the destruction of cartilage. With this technique, what we're trying to do is separate both articular surfaces, move the fluids that are inside the joint, and nourish the tissues like the cartilage. It's very simple.
Place your hand back down, resting it on a table, on the couch, wherever you want. With your opposite hand, use all your fingers to grab your thumb right here, just above the metacarpophalangeal joint. From here, I grab that finger, I separate that finger, and what are we going to feel? A sensation of separation, of traction exactly here and here.
I grab that finger. Using a strong pinch with my fingers, I pull firmly and feel that decompression.
We'll hold the position for 20 to 30 seconds, as long as your other hand can manage, and then we relax. And what are we going to notice? A separation, as I said, at this level and at this level. It's a technique you can do practically every day, whenever you want. To make it clearer here on camera, we can also do it with your hands supported. I grab my finger with the rest of my fingers, and from here I pull. Pay close attention. I pull my finger, separating it from the wrist and the hand. holding the position for about 20 to 30 seconds. It's important that you hold it here, close to the base of the thumb, because if you grab it too high, here you're already involving another interphalangeal joint that we don't want to involve. We grab at the base, apply traction, completely relax, and enjoy. Very good. Perfect. Always try to keep your finger as relaxed as possible whenever you do traction. It's true that after massage and traction, the thumb already feels quite a bit better. Now we're going to do a stretch that I also really like for all the dinar muscles, which usually help to decompress that metacarpophalangeal joint. Pay close attention. To do this, we're going to rest the elbow on the table or on the couch, and we're going to place the palm of the hand facing up. I'm going to grab my finger from the outside. Look, from the outside, and what I want to do is a supination movement. I'm going to pull inward with my left hand to open up this whole area as much as possible and feel the stretch. I pull, supinate, and my left hand brings the hand inward. Left hand brings the hand inward. When doing this, you feel tightness all over the palm of your hand, all this region here, the dinar area that we've already massaged, very, very pleasant. If you want to make it more intense, you can lift that elbow, stretch your arm, and here we have an even more demanding stretch. I'll go over the steps again. Hand palm facing up, elbow resting on the armchair, on the table, wherever you want. Raise your hand, grab the thumb from the outside with your other hand and pull inward until you feel the muscles stretching. For those who want to work with more intensity, we lift that elbow, which extends the elbow and makes the stretch much more demanding. How long do we hold it?
15 to 30 seconds is more than enough, and again, you can repeat it as many times as you want throughout the day.
Both the traction and the stretch should feel very pleasant and soothing. When you finish, you'll notice that finger is much more flexible, with less tension and less pain. The last one is really more of an exercise, and for me, it's the most important one. You should do this especially on those days when you don't have pain, when you feel less tension, on those days when, for example, you use your hands less.
What is this little exercise going to do? It will strengthen all the extensor and abductor muscles around the thumb.
And that, at the same time, will help us protect the joint. To do this, you need a hair tie, a rubber band, or something simple you have at home, and place it, pay close attention above that phalanx. Pay close attention here, above the line between the phalanges, right at the base of the nail. The rest of the fingers are used to hold that elastic in place. What we're going to do is separate our thumb as much as possible from the rest of the fingers. We hold for a few seconds and then relax. These fingers stay fixed. This one here moves. Let's go again. Pull 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. How do I know if I'm doing it right? Because you'll notice here how the tendons pop out. You can see a little bit on camera, this tendon here and this tendon here. That's a good sign. It means the muscles are working. If that elastic is too low for you, here for example, you'll have a lot of strength because the leverage is less. So try to always keep it approximately at the base of the nail. Let's do 10 repetitions together. Relax. Open 2, 3, 4, 5, always making sure the movement stays controlled. Relax. Open as much as you can. 2, 3, look here. 4, 5. We've done 2. I open 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. 3.
I open.
3, 5 repetitions. 6.
3, 4, 5. 7.
8. 9. 10. Very good. That feels really good. Focus on separating only your thumb. I went too far and separated all my fingers. I got carried away. Just think about your thumb and move it outward and see how those tendons get tense. How can we organize all this work? Massage. You can do it on the days you feel worse. Twice a week is very good. Traction. Stretching. You can do it as many times as you want. They will help you relieve the pain in the short term.
Strengthening. You have to do it. At least 3 sets of 10 repetitions. We've only done one, but do it at least 3 times a week to improve those muscles. And so that the pain disappears in the medium or long term. This is the real solution.
The problem is that relief comes later than with stretching or traction, that's all. Remember that every week I send all the updates from my channel through my newsletter. You can access it by clicking the link that appears down here in the first comment, in the video description. And the most important ingredient for getting better with exercise is consistency. I sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart for staying with me until the end. I hope you can share the video with those who need it, but above all, I hope to see you again on the channel in one of my other videos.
Bye, friends.